Hi guys, I'm Aussie and welcome to a channel news update for September, moving in towards October, and the new Football Manager game release as well. Now what I want to go through today is a schedule change, my thoughts on what we're going to be doing for Football Manager 22, and a quick update of all the competitions, the fantasy league, the predictor league, things like that we've got to update you on as well. But we'll start with an update, just a very quick update of the analytics. It's the time of year where nothing really changes too much, so views have been a little bit less, but you can see they're relatively stable. The reach, no, not this, not what I wanted to click on. I want to click on the watch time is again relatively stable, ups and downs, but mostly it's the weekends where it dips down, which is completely normal. Subscribers have been relatively stable as well, and revenue as well has been relatively stable, which is all very good. And of course, this revenue is just purely from you guys watching ads, and I cannot say thank you enough for doing that. My ads should always be skippable, because sometimes I know you just don't want to watch an ad, you just want to get on with your day. But if you don't mind watching the ads, it is greatly appreciated. It does sort of come back to me as well. I'm sure YouTube, I know YouTube take a chunk, but anyway, I do. It does help me out, which is excellent. So like I say, I don't want to go through too much with the analytics, because it is the time of the year where things are all relatively stable. You can see the top performing videos there. They do all tend to be tutorials for the most part. And there'll be more on that in just a second. Yeah, so that is if you do want to see something, I'm not trying to hide anything from you. Let me know and I can post it on the Discord or wherever it is. That is easier to post it. But yeah, that's sort of the general overview. And like I say, I don't want to dwell on it for too long. Now, schedule changes. Now, this is roughly what the schedule is right now, although this has been moved to Sunday, not Saturdays. I really need to update my things, don't I? But this is what the schedule looks like right now. Now, there is supposed to be a Aussie Villain Racing Formula 1 episode out today, being Sunday the 19th. That is not going to happen, because what I'm going to do is change the schedule basically to that. Now, the reason I'm doing that is that we're moving house in a couple of weeks. We haven't got an exact closing date, but sort of mid-October is what we're thinking. Now, that means on the weekends, I'm going to have to start, I'm going to have to start packing up the house and all that kind of stuff. And it really does help if I can have the weekends free. Now, I've been sort of had daddy daycare going for 2 weeks now, and I am finding it, I can cope, with the schedule as it is currently. But it is really kind of hectic for me, because obviously my days are kind of, I have something, I'll have to look after Ava. So it's just that having the weekends free with not having to edit a video together, is that it just in and of itself is going to be useful. But then add to that moving house, and I just need the weekends free right now. So that's what we're going to do. I am conscious of the fact it's going to take a little while to get through seasons now. I'm going to re-evaluate everything once we get into the new house and settled, and the new Football Manager comes out. Then we'll definitely re-evaluate things and see how we're going. But for right now, I am just going to take off the weekend Formula 1 video. So I hope you guys understand. It's just, I don't want to have burnout, and then it's not fun for anybody at that point. So yeah, that's the plan. That'll be the schedule moving forward until the new Football Manager comes out. And then we will, as I said, reevaluate things. Now, we'll come back to the new Football Manager in just a second. But I did just want to, because I didn't do a weekend preview, just update everybody on the Patreon. Sorry, this is just a Predictor League. If you do want to join this, absolutely free to do so. Just there'll be a link in the description. So just click that and welcome aboard. We've got 20 players now. Does that mean I do need to add somebody in, so we'll do that momentarily. But last week, you can see the leaderboard there. Now we're mid-game week, of course, on a Sunday, but Wolfman is currently ahead of Ben. I always trip over this, Benteke Taka, which it's a great name, and I can't get my tongue to go around it. It's what she said. It's Webby's Whites and defending champion, of course, and RTB, who was last week's Golden Cup winner, so we do need to give him his credit for that. If we have a look here, we'll go back a game week, and we will see that there it is. RTB was the winner ahead of Urosh and Kudos Gamer as well, and this is how everybody did. Not the greatest week for me last week, but equal with the defending champ. I'll take that, and we can see there how everybody did. Now, the Fantasy League, now this is just for Patreons. There's a link to the description for my Patreon. This is one of the little thank you perks that I tried to do, is this. Now, again, mid-game week, but Arnold's Barbarians is currently top, just ahead of myself. McGinn and Tonic who I suspect might have quite a few players playing on the Sunday. Cobra Chickens, this is the depressing depths for them. They've always been top of the league. And Juan Matas as well. I suppose a few people here I suspect might have a lot of players going today being Sunday. So there we go. But it's as you would expect at this stage. At the end of this game week, it could be quite tight again, which is excellent. We want to have a nice, tight, competitive race. Now, that brings us... the fantasy baseball as well. Where's fantasy baseball up here? There it is. I believe, well, we know Mooses and Gooses. It's just a matter of time of inaugurating our defending champion as our current champion, as they have a 700, almost 800-point lead over Daniel's team. Bruce's boys up there in third, and we can see everybody else going down. It's tightening up for the Wooden Spoon, it looks like, as well. Only 200 or so points between them, is there? That's the gap to first, isn't it? Yeah, so it's only 200 or so points, so maybe there could be a pending battle there for the Wooden Spoon. Now, as for Football Manager 2022, it is coming out 9th of November, isn't it? So instead of doing an impossible dream, I know a couple of you guys were saying, I think it was in the Discord and comments on one of the similar video, is it would be interesting to do sort of like a path, what's it called, a march to glory or whatever it's called, to sort of go up through the divisions with a team in England. So I'm thinking that's what we'll do with something different, and I'm thinking there's two teams that interest me, and I want to get you guys feedback as to exactly what you think, and if it's not one of these two, let me know. I mean, there's always interesting stories out there. But the two teams I'm thinking of is the first one is Bradford Park Avenue. Now, the reason for this is because their name was originally Bradford. So, Bradford City's kind of the Johnny's come latelys 100 and something years ago. But, so Bradford Park Avenue is kind of the original Bradford club. But what I also like about them is they have been in the Northern Premier Division, so the Conference North, for as long as I can remember. They just always, whenever I play Football Manager, they always seem to be there, and they never go up, they never go down. And it is the closest team of it that would be in the Conference North. That's the one that's closest to me, to where I live right now. So, when I move, it'll still be the closest one to me. So there's a little bit of personal interest there as well. If we go and have a look at honours, now it looks like they used to be a rugby league team at some point as well, but we were just interested in this. You can see Northern Premier League, Premier Division. I think that might be the division below, is it? They've won a playoff there. But anyway, we can see there, they've never really won anything that is notable. They've always just been in that northern... Well, they've moved up the leagues a little bit, it looks like. But anyway, Bradford Park Avenue is the first one that I'm looking at. And the second one is York City. Now, York is one of my favourite places in the UK. Absolutely love York to pieces. And... well, I remember them. They used to be, they've been as high as the Championship. You can see there that they spent 2 seasons in the second division in the 70s. So that's the Championship as it would have been then, because the first division was essentially the Premier League. So they have been as high as the Championship. They spent a lot of time in what is now League One and League Two. But just recently, they sort of had some hard times. They've fallen away, and I think they actually went down even below the... Oh, no, I don't think they did fall below the Conference North, did they? But anyway, I'm thinking that, again, that could be a good team to bring back, not just to the Championship, which is as far as they've gone, but even beyond that, obviously, and try and win the Champions League with them if at all possible. So they're the two teams that I'm thinking of, but that's by far the only ones that I'm considering. If you guys have any other ideas, let me know. What I ideally want to do is not go below the Conference North and South. The reason for that is, I find it gets a little bit tedious just coming up and up and up through silly divisions. The challenge is there coming from the Conference North or South. I don't think it necessarily needs to go much further down than that. Also, then you go into databases, and I'm always kind of nervous that a database is going to corrupt at some point. So, yeah, I am a little bit nervous going below that. But yeah, as I said, starting in like tier 10 or something, it just takes longer to get up to where it actually gets competitive and kind of fun, where you can really start to challenge. So that's my thoughts anyway. But as I said, I'm open to any ideas, so let me know in the comments or on Discord or wherever you want to do it. There's a link to the Discord in the description if I didn't say that already. Now, the other team I'm considering, I want to do 2 saves like we usually do. So sort of for a first star challenge kind of a thing. The other team I'm thinking we want to do for that is Derby County. Now, the reason for that is right here. Derby County to enter administration. Now, we did this a similar thing with Sheffield Wednesday last year, starting with the -12, and we actually were able to overcome that and still get promoted that first season. But the problem with Derby County is that they are likely to be I think as many as like 22, 24 points with other financial irregularities. So that, I think, could be a very, very big challenge, especially first season, just to stay in the league and then kind of go from there. So that's what I'm thinking. Again, any other suggestions? I wasn't going to do Derby. I'll be honest, I was going to do Ipswich. But I think Derby County just recently has maybe become a bit of a more interesting challenge on that front. So that is what I'm considering. So the other thing I did just want to mention quickly is tutorials. Now, what I mean, you can see from here, and you guys, I'm sure a lot of you have said that the way that you discovered me was via a tutorial. So what I'm thinking of doing for the new Football Manager, and I'm going to start doing it for Out of the Park Baseball as well in the future, is doing more tutorials. So if you have anything that you'd like to see a tutorial on, let me know in the comments. I'm going to do things like press conferences, sort of more, so there'll be shorter videos, but sort of more narrowed in on a specific thing. And I'm hoping, because one thing that did or didn't happen this year is I didn't grow as a channel. I mean, I cannot be more grateful for the fact that people, once they've found me, tend to stay around, which is absolutely brilliant. But for the channel needs to grow, and the way that that's going to happen, and you can see here is from the top videos, it's tutorials for the most part. So I'm going to be doing a lot more. So if there's anything, any like little specific thing you want to see a tutorial on, let me know in the comments, or again, however you want to do it, and then we'll I'll start and do that. So one thing that you will see a lot more of in Football Manager 22 is just tutorials. So you don't have to watch them, obviously, but the idea of the tutorials is to bring new people in, welcome new people in, and then once we've got our claws into them, hopefully they'll stay around. But yeah, that is the plan. But that's it for the channel news update. If any feedback you have, as ever, I'm grateful for, and I will see you in another video very, very soon. Like and subscribe and all that stuff, but you probably already subscribed if you're watching a channel news upgrade. Take care.